Hello everyone, John Marshall, the DrillMaster. This is Missouri Military Academy's Fusilier drill team from Waynesville, January 2020. This is all by request, and I appreciate this. I haven't judged exhibition in a little while. I did the armed regulation just previously. That's uploading right now, and here we go with the exhibition. Looking forward to this.
All in. Forward. Forward.
So there's got to be a better way to do this. There has to be a better way. You did this for the regulation sequence, same type of entrance. This is exhibition drill. You have to do something different, because now, I'll speak as a judge, not just critiquing this, but as a judge. Let's say that I'm the tech standing right there. I'm unimpressed right now, and I know that sounds harsh. However, I just watched, it's the same tech sergeant that watched the regulation sequence. I just watched you do this. The same type of entrance. Everybody marches at port. Everybody can come in a single file. Almost everybody. Everybody can come up and form a platoon. You have to think outside the box. So I suggest that you go to my website, read the. I'll tell you what. I'll make a note, and I'll put these down below in the notes. So let me get a sheet of paper here. So the 7 parts. I'll write that note. I'll put that link there. The 7 parts of an exhibition drill routine. First part is going to be your opening statement. Next part is going to be your movement towards the head judge. The next part is going to be your report in. Then the next part is the movement away from that report in, and then it just continues. So right now you don't have an opening statement. Actually, you do, really. It's fall in. What am I to expect from fall in? It's almost a letdown. Okay, this is exciting. This is exhibition drill, and I'm really gonna be wowed, and fall in. And you're doing the same thing. Now, if this is required in the team SOP, then, or in the meet SOP, let's say, then that's awful. That's very limiting, and the ESOP needs to be rewritten to allow for a wide range of thought here. But you can do so much. I can write an opening for you if you really want to, if you want me to. And the opening can really grab the attention of the judges. I'm sorry to look disappointed and to sound disappointed, but it's because I am. You didn't need the signal. Everybody can hear that you're going down. You don't need to go to order and then boom, boom. Two butt taps. That it doesn't. Just because you do taps, not necessarily slams here, but just because you execute two butt taps doesn't mean anything. It doesn't exhibitionize the performance all of a sudden. There's nothing here that says exhibition drill. Nothing except an irregular order arms. And Commander, you had the team marking time for so long, and this is it's just not really grabbing the attention of the audience and saying, listen, if you don't watch everything, if you don't hold your eyes open and not blink for this entire performance, you're going to miss something and you're going to regret it for the rest of your life. That's what we need to see. That's the kind of intensity and performance that really needs to happen.
Please head home.
Everybody does this.
Admiral Sergeant, First Sergeant at Saxon Cardi.
Everybody. This is how you report in for regulation drill. Where's the where's the focus? There's a pretend that the team came in and formed a wedge. The focus is the commander. Let's say they reverse the wedge. The commander's either at the tip of the wedge or forward. It's still, there's the focus. There's no focus here except you go from the team proper to the commander. Everybody's at present arms. Everybody does present arms. You have to think out of the box. You've got to wow your audience. And it was just a typical report in. Commander, you're blocking the audience. Everybody can see that it's a ripple line, and I get that. But to march the two squads out, so exhibitionized regulation drill. That's all this is so far. And you're not going to get far with this. If you want to score highly, you have to put in more thought than what's going on here. And watch YouTube videos. There's all kinds of performances out there that will just blow you away. Really, really good. You can even watch the unarmed just for the drill, because there's nothing here so far, honestly. But to pull first and second out to the side, then have them face, and then move in and about face, and that's so there's uniformity of technique, and that works well. You're taking up a lot of time with the ripple line, and I understand why. So that was great. I've never seen an exchange like that before. That was fantastic. That was so unexpected. I honestly, I was just ready to sit here and do this, but I'm not. So this is good. All right. So enough of my negative. I'm going to try and work into some positives here. So your transitions, you don't have any transitions. So you're calling commands, forward and post and all this. And by the end of this is January 2020, so you should be well into creating the exhibition routine in the school year. And then by February, then March, April, uh, you should be, if you need to create a routine that has commands or signals like uh, a thigh slap or a butt slam or something like that, that's fine initially, but then you should be able to eventually take those commands out, create longer segments, longer sequences. Exhibition drill is like writing a paper, and you have a vocabulary. You have a vocabulary of marching, and you have a vocabulary of rifle work. And at the beginning of the performance here, you had very basic vocabulary. Jack has a dog. The dog is red. And I don't mean this as insulting, but it was a very primary, very basic level of exhibition drill here. All of a sudden, you you go from Jack has a dog to Jack has this really awesome dog who can jump over, and all your language just explodes as far as the vocabulary with this right here, with just this exchange. This is a wild, weird, strange exchange, but it's great. It communicates well. It really does. It's out of place though. So not the placement, your location, your orientation on the court is incorrect. That works well, Commander. You're blocking your audience still, so the audience can barely see what's going on. That is the people who are sitting. Yep, people at the side who are angled in, like the camera operator here can see it. But the commander, you shouldn't be there. You should be either a team member or you should be doing something different. You should be at the rear, something else, so that the audience can see the team. You're like a little screen in front of there, and that doesn't work well. But you're it's wild. The transition into this. The transitions so far have been very blocky and very awkward. It's not been smooth at all. But then all of a sudden you do this. That's wild. The stomps definitely aren't necessary. And like I was saying, you need signals like the stomps. Initially, that's fine, but take those out during the year so that you create smoother transitions with longer phrasing. And by longer phrasing, again, we can go back to the writing the paper. Jack has a dog. All of a sudden, it's Jack has a blue dog. Jack has a blue dog that can swim underwater. And so you're creating longer phrases. Okay, so we don't have blue dogs that swim underwater, but you get the idea here. Jack has a blue dog. So there's periods there. Those periods can indicate a signal, like the foot stomps. The foot stomps are out of place. They don't work well. They hardly ever work well in an exhibition sequence. So if you take out the period and either put in a comma, that still might be a bit of a signal in there. Or if you take out the comma and rephrase, Jack has a blue dog. Jack's dog swims underwater. Jack has a blue dog that swims underwater. Now that phrase has no signals in it. What I'm talking about here, no foot stomps. Maybe the middle cadet here is executing the signals. So instead of the stomps, it's a 1, 2, toss, 1, 2, toss. They're just little tiny movements, and the audience who's looking straight on, they don't really see 1, 2, and then toss. Now they would see this movement sideways, but not up and down. Not necessarily. It's not as obvious as this out of place. All of a sudden, you're raising your foot, stomp, stomp. There's no need for that. Make the signals as seamless as possible, or eliminate them completely. So again, this transition, instead of them going back into place where they start, oh, you're going back into a ripple line. So instead of them going back into place where they started, you could have brought the team forward and then have them see. Okay, so here's my idea. Let me write something for you. You have this cadet at the end who's the soloist. All right, so then you have the 3 here. You have 2 here, and then 1 here. So you bring the ones in the back forward, and then you bring them over so that they merge together like this and form 3 squads again, without him in the corner. So as these 3 over here are moving forward, then they start to move in like this, leaving the soloist here. The soloist begins to perform his solo, while the team over here is forming up a block formation. 2 things going on at the same time. Judges don't know where to look. That's what you want. You want to give the judges something to look at, something to go, oh wow, what's happening? This is great. I love this. Even if it's just basic stuff. Don't march at port arms all the time. Do the manual of arms while you're marching. It can work. Go to order as you march. After each movement of go to right shoulder, come back to port, go to. It's something, and see, what I think has happened here is you haven't had an idea of how to write exhibition drill. So how, writing my next note. So I'm gonna put some links, some more links down below to my website. This is the only place I know to get this information, or else I'd send you off somewhere else. You can look up YouTube videos to watch different performances, but you really need to understand how to construct an exhibition drill routine. And this is okay. This is a basic thought process. It works as far as exhibition drill goes, but this is at the very lowest level, an introductory level of exhibition drill. And that's fine for any team that is just starting out, but you need to be able to progress. You need to be able to have cadets on the team who know how to write drill, who are at least learning how to write the drill, learning how to create the marching movement, and then creating ideas of how to move the rifle. Even if, let me take my lighter rifle here, even if the movement is, manual of arms, that's fine. That's okay. But then you can get into different movement that works for you, that is totally out of context of regulation drill, but is interesting and thought-provoking for exhibition drill. Just something silly and simple, like I just did. That was just off the top of my head. So so I have a little bit of experience in doing that, and so that makes it easier for me to be able to think right off the top of my head of doing something with a rifle. So then what you can do is once you start to create the routine, it starts to get easier. You understand more, and then pretty soon you're going, oh man, yeah, we could do this here, and then oh, instead of that, so let's take that out and let's replace that with this, and you can start out with your routine, and you have your 7 parts. Write each one of these parts separately. Make sure that they flow together, obviously, but you only concentrate on one part at a time. Don't worry about the whole routine. That's not going to be something that you need to worry about. It's going to be overwhelming if you're thinking about the whole routine. Just little parts, just those 7 parts. So think about your opening statement. Think about your progression into the report in, and so forth. So instead of the rest of the team being here, see then as soon as, and the team, so you have your soloist here, you have your block formation here. Well, let's do this since you're watching me. So here's what it would look like on the floor. You have your soloist here, your block formation is formed up here, then your block formation starts coming over. There's an empty corner right here. The block formation comes over. Let's do that. Here's the missing corner right here, my index finger. So the block formation comes over, and then boom. As soon as he's finished with his solo, the team halts and they form a complete block formation. He doesn't have to march back into place, into the line. The team has marched over and essentially picked him up, and then you can move on to doing more. So, Commander, you can spin a rifle. A little bit, anyway. I like that exchange. I really do. I think that is quite unique. I appreciate it. And you're just resetting up the block. Side steps are a momentum killer. So the poor transitions are a momentum killer. There really is a lack of momentum in this. The transitions it's all just very stop start. There's hardly any flow to the routine. But side steps are definitely a killer as far as a transition goes. And I understand you want to get the team back into formation, but there are much better ways. Much better ways. The Silent Drill Platoon has worked this kind of transition from the 3 into a line, and then from the line, what they call the long line, back into the block formation. Watch a couple of their performances over the years. They transition in different ways to recreate the block formation or move into the line. If you want to keep that, there's plenty of ways to transition like that and create a routine that is. Not that this isn't worth watching. It is. There is a level of excellence here. It's just there's the what and the how of a performance. Your what really is very lacking. There's hardly any substance here as far as exhibition drill goes. It's very, very basic, very regulation type of a performance. And then there's the how. So the how is how well you're performing what you're performing, and to some extent there is a good degree of excellence here in certain areas, but it's very sporadic. It's you're not maintaining a certain level really at all. So you have well, there's another one. Writing the another note for me to put a link down below. So you have the different parts of the routine, and and that'll be in that link below, another link, and you have some couple of guys have some good spinning skills in there, and that's good. That really is, and pulling out a soloist while the rest of the team is doing something else works well. The silent drill platoon, long line soloist type of thing doesn't necessarily translate well to the junior ROTC exhibition drill world. Yes, I know there are teams out there that are copycats for the silent drill platoon, and I get it. Especially if you're a Marine Corps unit, you idolize that performance, and sure, understood completely. However, competitive drill is much different from a standard exhibition that the Air Force Honor Guard drill team is going to do, or the Army drill team. All of the service drill teams there in DC, they're at a different level. They're at a not higher. It's just different. They're not competing against each other, although now they've recreated that the competition, but the performances that they do are more for communicating the abilities of the team, which is supposed to highlight the abilities of the entire service, which it does. The readiness of the service, the excellence of the service in every way, in every MOS, Air Force Specialty Code, Space Force Specialty Code now as well. That level of excellence that we all have in all of our jobs throughout the entire U.S. military. That's what all that communicates. This is different. Not lesser, it's just different. So you really need to think of it in that type of a way. And I appreciate... so two things going on at once. Now, why the first and third squads didn't have any kind of rifle work, I don't know, but I appreciate the thinking here of movement happening as far as marching, and then movement as far as the rifles going, and that could have worked well also, to have everybody perform. So stepping off like that is called a step 2. You step off every 2 steps. Oh, and color guard. All right. So, oh yeah, that's I judged that. The 2022 I judged. So yeah, probably going to be the same thing, and then. Yep, that's all color guard. So I already took care of that, so I'll leave that. So I'm finished with this critique, and I'll add those links below, like I was talking about. I'm always very appreciative of being asked to give a critique, and it's only been 30 minutes that I've been talking. I feel like I've been talking forever. That's odd. Okay, so I've hopefully I've given you some information, and if you need me to to work with. If you need me to start you out on an idea of how to bring the team in an exhibition type of way, then most definitely I'm all for that. Um, I want to back up here. There. So this is just after you report in. Um, there's a much better way to bring the team in to grab everybody by the eyeballs and make others say, "Hey, MMA is going to perform exhibition routine. We've got to go see this." That's what you want, really. You want people to say, "I'm not missing this. I don't care what happens. I've got to see this." So we can work. We can definitely work behind the scenes and get you taken care of to where you bring a routine that is works beyond expectation. And you might not win a competition, but you're going to understand better how to create, how to work, and then use that routine that's created and build on that. And then throughout the years, as time moves on, you might not win this year, you might not win next year, but you're going to increase in your level of competitive abilities. And who knows, by the end of next year or the year after, you're going to be winning competition after competition. All right, so I hope everything that I've said has been helpful, and I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.